Good morning.
Welcome, my brother. Always
Yes,
good to see you. Always good to have the pleasure of talking with you, visiting with you, and joining our WBOK family of listeners and watchers on this glorious Monday morning. Of course, it's a different kind of Monday around these parts.
it is a
So we
different
got,
kind of Monday.
yeah, so we got some other folks around the country and the world. They're going about their beginning of their work week in
hmm
so many places, and we're going about the beginning of our work 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah,
so
it's
some people going to work, but they're probably not going to be there too long
yeah. No, not today.
Yeah,
Today,
not
no,
today.
no.
If they're going in at all,
Yeah,
and other folks just went off and just taking off the whole weekend.
I-10 was not as busy as as usual.
Imagine that.
Not quite, not quite. 610 not as busy on the way in. I-10 not as busy. You don't have the Pontchartrain Expressway, which is how I get here from 610. It was nice and easy to drive this
Yeah,
morning.
yeah,
It was
yep,
not a problem. So a lot of folks are they're in a celebratory mood
yeah,
today.
absolutely.
Yeah, everywhere else it is Cleveland, but today,
Yeah, right.
today
We
it
got
is
Lundi Gras here.
it is Lundi Gras.
Lundi Gras, and of course, a lot of folks will take advantage of the Lundi Gras activities over at the Mississippi River.
hmm
There'll be the all-day Zulu Lundi Gras over there, and we'll have the royalty meeting
hmm
between Zulu and King and Queen and the Rex King and Queen, and a full day of entertainment, food and drink and fun out there. And then we've got a whole bunch of parades
Yeah.
as well. So
hmm
some folks will be out for that too. So
Yeah.
I got out a little bit this weekend. How about you? You get out at all?
I did. I did. For the first time in a few years, I checked out Namtok.
Hey, what'd you
Yeah.
think?
I loved it. I loved it. Namtok was really cool. Very laid back. I caught it in a good place too. I caught it at the beginning of the route.
Uh-huh.
So that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, did did Sunday at the Maroon yesterday for the
Hey.
daytime parades.
Canal Street, right?
Yeah, St. Charles.
St. Charles, I mean.
St.
Yeah,
Charles,
yeah,
yeah.
right. Mhm.
I did not make it to Bacchus. Bacchus didn't
Mm,
see me.
mm,
Drew Brees did not throw to me.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
I found my way home.
Yeah, right.
I found my way home.
Well,
It
how was
was
St. Charles? So this was
St. Charles.
late morning, afternoon,
It was
something like that?
yeah, it was the morning through 5 o'clock. I mean, goodness, it started with what was the first parade yesterday? Why is this slipping? Okeanos. So it started with Okeanos, and then it was Toth, and then there wasn't much of a gap between Toth and Bacchus, because by the time Toth had passed, it was what, almost 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
and Bacchus was getting going. They were getting going. So, but yeah, it was a fun day. It was a very good day. Good morning to Jay and the crew over at Maroon. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, went out to an event, one of those big up tuxedo tie kind of places on Friday night. Yeah, I got invited, so we figured we'd go take a look.
There you go.
Oh boy, that was hoity-toity.
yeah.
It was a good time. It was a good time. A lot of good folks there. Meet folks that you haven't seen in a long time, or that you know of but haven't met before. And the music was fantastic. And
I was gonna say, with Teddy Riley.
yeah, no, we didn't go to.
Oh,
Zulu.
you didn't go to
No,
okay,
we
got
went to a
it.
smaller one. We went to Punch.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
we went to
Got
Punch.
it. Got it.
We
Yep.
I had a lot of friends went to Zulu. There was a time I would try to go to a couple of those evening events. It's just
It is a lot.
it's a lot.
I have
It's a
been to
lot.
I have been to Zulu once,
Yeah.
and I mean it was fun. I can cross it off my bucket list
Yeah. Right.
because man, it was so much work.
Yeah.
It was so much work just to not. I'm not even talking about getting there. I'm
Right.
talking about getting from the parking lot into the place. That was a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Goodness, yeah.
Oh.
But we know a good time was had by all.
Yeah, oh yeah, and depending on where you're sitting,
Yeah.
it might take you a little walk to get to the dance floor.
Yes.
But boy, what entertainment they have! I mean, it's
Mhm.
always good. So went out to Endymion on Saturday, and we decided to have a Valentine's Day brunch. So we had a
Aw.
little Valentine's Day brunch,
That's a cool
just the
thing.
two of us, looking at each other's eyes, holding hands under the
Looking all
table.
googly eyed at each
Yeah,
other.
I'm sure some of those 20-some, 30-some people were looking at us like, what they doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this is how you make it last.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so it was good. But then we caught Endymion out on Canal Street. And, one of the wonderful things about the carnival season, Mardi Gras, is people are out to have a good time for the most part. For
Yeah.
the most part,
Mhm.
people are out to have a good time, and they want to have a good time. They want to see you have a good time. It's like, hey, y'all from here? You from out of town? Where y'all from? Oh, you from the city? Yeah, we from the city. Well, actually, we're in Jefferson. We're in St. Bernard. Yeah, well, where about? I know where that is. That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I ran into my new friend Rick Flores and Tina Bullock. And we just had a good time. And thank you, Rick, brother Rick. Thank you, brother Rick, for the water. It was right on time because otherwise I'm going to have to work my way through the crowd to get over to the street to find a place where I could buy water for $2.50 or $5.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So, brother Rick, you were right on time. So I sure appreciated that. So a little way to wet my whistle, and saw a number of great bands, and including a Mississippi Valley State University
yeah.
band. And it was so cool because they ended up stopping where we were. I went out there and talked with them a bit, and that's the university where my dad was
Yeah.
president for a number of years. And
Mhm.
so they were so excited to see us Sutton.
That is
And,
cool.
Yeah, and it's like, well, let's say hi to Dr. Sutton. So, I mean, not me, but
Yeah.
but him. So they wanted to record a little video, take some pictures. So I shared that with Dad.
Oh man,
So,
that is
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, so that was cool. So that was good. A lot of young folks having a good time, families. I saw families of like 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I mean, lots of people out there
Mhm.
having a good time. And that's a big part of what this season is about. And of course, then we had the other people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we had the other people. So it seems like there's always somebody want to mess things up, and one way or another. So we're going to be talking about Mardi Gras safety with Quentin Brown from the New Orleans Fire Department on the show today. But let's talk about safety and foolishness
Oh
when we
yeah.
come back after the break. This is WBOK, and the talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. I'm Will Sutton, and I'm here with Eddie Francis. Eddie, sometimes people might want to call the number that I say, but I think sometimes they might prefer to call the number that you say.
Oh really? You think
Yeah,
so?
I think so.
All right, well, give us a call. 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
All right, give it a ring. If you don't call the number I gave you, that's all right. Call the number Eddie gave you, okay? All right. Will ask us a question. Maybe we'll give you an answer. If not, we'll give you a response. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good morning and happy Monday. I'm Morgan Lentes with WDSU News, and here's a look at today's headlines. It is officially Lundi Gras, and several parades roll tonight in the final sprint to Fat Tuesday. Uptown, the crew of Proteus starts at 5:15 p.m., and after that, the crew of Orpheus rolls at 6. And in Metairie, the crew of Centurions rolls at 6. It is followed by the crew of Atlas. And before those parades, the King of Zulu will be in Kenner for his annual toast with the King of Argus. They will also exchange gifts and have a second line. This is happening in Rivertown at 10 a.m. Then you can head to the riverfront in New Orleans for Zulu's annual Lundi Gras Festival. The all-day free event culminates with the arrival of Zulu royalty around 5 p.m., and the King of Carnival arrives not long after and will be handed the key to the city by Mayor Helena Moreno and other local leaders. Finally, in non-Mardi Gras news, the Sewerage and Water Board says it is actively working to repair a water main break in Treme. This happened over the weekend on North Galvez near St. Louis Street. We're told crews are working to resolve the issue quickly. This follows a massive water main break a few weeks ago on Panola Street that opened up a sinkhole and prompted a large boil water advisory. And that is a look at today's headlines. I'm Morgan
Late nights are made
WBSU
for chilling,
News.
and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. This is Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis, and we're talking about Mardi Gras and the carnival season, and fun times for most of us, but then, we got some folks messing some things up. So before we talk more about what we think and saw and have to say about that, how about we go to the talk line? Good morning, Don. You're on with Will Sutton and Eddie Francis. How are you, sir?
A very good morning to you all. And happy carnival, of course, is in order.
All right. Happy Mardi Gras.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I had a question. I guess I'll try to keep it as practical as you talk about for instance, Zulu Ball. would providing golf cart shuttle services be inappropriate since people are informal wear? I mean, that should be a standard. I'm not saying this is Carnival. I mean, these golf carts should be used in many cases, man, to provide transportation for maybe your EMS or your even law enforcement.
Right. No, I understand.
As opposed, you have your units, but you have the golf course. I'm just trying to use the practicality of the golf cart transportation, especially at Zulu Ball, with people walking for such distance from the parking lots and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a courtesy to have.
Yeah. Well, I think that there are different types of golf carts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
talking about the 3-seat golf cart.
Well, yes, but see, here's the difference. I think there's street legal golf courts, and there are others that are only supposed to be for off-road or golf courses and such. So if there's a golf cart escorting people from parking lots across the street over to the convention center, if they're on the street, they would need to be street legal. If they're on convention center property on the outside, moving from one venue to another, I'm not sure about that because it's not a street.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what does the convention center policy allow for? And then, of course, inside, I would imagine that a lot of people would like that, but then who would be in control of the number of carts and what's the liability? Because, yes, of course, somebody would like to have the convenience of going, I'll say, a quarter mile to a half a mile from one place to another, but you probably wouldn't want to have just Uncle Joe doing his and Aunt Sally doing hers, and just because they have one. So they'd have to be regulated, coordinated, I would imagine. What do you think, Eddie?
Yeah, I want to say that Halim and I went to an event where there actually was something going on like that, Don, where there was somebody running a golf cart service back and forth. It was either that or, well, it could have been a rickshaw. I'm not sure. But to me, it makes sense because you have all these people and you have some people who can walk better than others and some who can't walk as well as others. And not to mention you have ladies in high heels. And then goodness forbid if the weather is really not all that great that night. And then they're, like it's 30 degrees or something, or maybe it's drizzling or something like that. You got people trying to make it from the parking lot to the convention center. So you know what? Sign me up. If I have to make that walk and the weather's not all that great, sign me up for the golf course. Just find me one. I'm fine with that. And at the very least, let's save some feet. But I mean, yeah, some people. But I actually do think. I mean, honestly, Don, I think it is a good practical idea if somebody could do it, or if they could contract a third party to do it.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
They also have like the Mabasa, like at the zoo, they had the Mabasa train. You can have, just different ways to get people. It'll help with traffic as well because you'll get people in and out quicker. But if it's not practical, there's a lot of legal liability, which it should be covered any time you operate a business. I'm not talking about just anybody. I'm talking about a company or a service provider.
Yeah, like a third party. Yeah.
And I'm not talking about But anyway, it was just a question because moving large crowds safely is a science within itself. And New Orleans police, the way they direct streets, for the most part, they do an excellent job. The city historically has done a pretty good job of getting people out of the downtown CBD parade route area, and even public transportation. RTA does a good job once the line is clear for the buses. If the streetcar line is not clear, the buses come in and they transport a lot of people too. So yeah, those issues has always been something that I was interested in, as far as how you move people, large groups of people, safely to their events and safely back to their vehicles, because it's just a matter of safety and convenience and comfort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you all very much.
All right. Well, thank you.
You got it, Don.
Lord's blessings. Have a great day. All right, Don. Don weighing in with a solution.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah, man. But I have seen it at an event. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
And I do believe that Halima and I took advantage of it. But again, it could have been a rickshaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
might-
the idea is some small transportation vehicle to get you from point A to point B, so that you're dealing with the lengthy walks.
Yeah.
Some might like to use it for getting their steps in, but others might just want to get where they want to go.
Yeah, that's how I always make myself feel better. It was like, okay, let's get the steps in. Let's get them in. Let's do it.
Oh boy. Well, we've had quite a number of people. Situations. We've had a few situations where people have been doing things that maybe they shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And that includes most recently, we had the Tough parade stopped and riders removed, and they had a float. They got kicked off because they were throwing things at the feds. At the feds.
So wait a minute. Because I saw
This was Sunday afternoon.
I saw a heavy FBI presence.
Yeah.
And they were helping out with details.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were helping out with the safety detail. But yeah, and it was, so my son saw him, and he was just like, "Hey man, what's going on with the FBI?" And I was like, "I don't know. I have no idea." But they were there just helping out. So they were throwing stuff aggressively at them.
Yes. According to police, the New Orleans Police Department responded to the Times-Picayune, New Orleans, NOLA.com, where I work. So some of this was caught on the Mardi Gras for All Y'all parade camera. And so it was live, and the announcer was saying, "Here comes Snoopy with no riders on it." That might have been, maybe there was an issue with that float or something. And of course, there was an issue because those riders had been told to remove themselves after a video was shared appearing that Tough riders, don't know whether they were crew members, but usually you have to be a crew member in most of these cases. Sometimes you can just pay to ride. In red satin costumes, walking unmasked down the parade route, carrying ice chests and other belongings that they had with them on the float. But they had been told they had to leave the float because of aggressive goings-ons with throwing things at the feds. So we don't know more details about that, but my goodness, I mean, it's just yet another situation where people not behaving well.
Right.
Not behaving well at all. And that, of course, follows the Crew of Carrollton situation from a few days ago, last weekend, where there were 41 riders removed, and they were throwing beads aggressively at New Orleans police officers.
Yeah.
So those 41 riders were removed. And, last week we talked about this a bit, and I was like, well, but nobody's arrested? I mean, 41 people?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed a little strange that no one is arrested, but apparently the administration and the police department decided to take an approach that they would let the crew handle it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So,
Okay. Okay.
So now we have another situation, and we're going to have the crew handle that one too. All right. So I don't know. And then there was another one. We'll have to get that after the break because that one really set people off.
Yeah.
Including me, because that involved racist actions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what the heck? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right. It's 7:26 a.m. You got somewhere to be for 7:30. You just might make it if you've got somewhere to be, or if you're just driving out for a nice Monday Lundi Gras drive, or you're getting out to get in position for Lundi Gras over on the riverfront or parade routes. Please do so safely. Get everything you need and pull yourself together. The talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
We're starting off mostly cloudy for the first half of the day. Then we get to the afternoon, we'll start to see some clearing. And as that happens, highs today will eventually rise 67 to 73 degrees. No rain expected. Light little breeze for us as well. Lows for tonight, 50 to 54. Increasing clouds and a mostly cloudy day for your Mardi Gras day. Highs will be 72 to 74. Warming up to the 80s later this week. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Louisiana's Julia Letlow. What do they have in common? Liberal Julia Letlow voted with Joe Biden more than any other Louisiana Republican in the U.S. House. And just like Nancy Pelosi, Letlow has traded hundreds of stocks while serving in Congress. Worse, Letlow violated federal insider trading laws by failing to report her shady stock trades, potentially millions of dollars worth. But that's not all. Before she went to Congress, Liberal Julia Letlow was a university bureaucrat. She instituted radical DEI policies, woke sensitivity training, and the university put up a public art display honoring Defund the Police activists. Is that what Louisiana wants in the U.S. Senate? Conservatives just can't trust Liberal Julia Letlow. Louisiana Freedom Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. LouisianaFreedomFund.org.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 1230 a.m. See you on Saturday.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK, 1230 a.m. I am Will Sutton, and with me is Eddie Francis.
Good morning.
Fellow Purple Knight.
Yes.
No, that's three of us.
Yep.
Jared on the other side of the glass. Got some purple power firing up WBOK this morning. On Lundy Gras. How many of you all taking a long weekend? Always take the weekend of Mardi Gras, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And maybe some of you all take Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So, I know. I mean, I try to reach out to some people. It's like, I'll get back to you.
Oh, yeah. It's really. I'm actually, so believe it or not, I'm actually going to be working for 30 minutes tomorrow.
Are you really?
I have a public speaking client that I have to work with tomorrow, so it's fine.
Because for them,
it's
another Tuesday.
This is somebody in another state.
Yeah, right.
So they, they're just like, hey, this is my schedule. This is what I need. And I'm like, okay, I got you. I said, it's no big deal.
Yeah, right.
I got you. It's 30 minutes of Mardi Gras.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to lose out.
No.
No. Let's do this thing for 30 minutes, run me my coins, and we'll be good.
Well, that's the good part. Well, as we were saying, there's some bad aspects of the Mardi Gras season, and one part of it was people throwing beads aggressively at New Orleans Police Department. Another part was people apparently throwing aggressively at feds. We're just like, that's crazy, any of that. And, of course, throwing beads aggressively anyway, because I believe some folks who got hit by beads.
Yeah, it was.
And so it's not that it's wrong only if it's law enforcement. It's wrong if you're just aiming at people and throwing aggressively. That's just wrong.
There are a lot of social media accounts of people, especially black folks, who are saying, this flow passed by, and they weren't throwing to us; they were throwing at us.
Right.
And some of them were aiming when our heads were turned. Which has got hurt. I mean, just yesterday, I turned my head to say something to somebody when the float was passing, and these were people just normally throwing, and and all I heard around me was, "Look out!" And I looked up, and there was a bead coming at me, and it hit me in the side of the head. But that was an accident, and that hurt enough. So I can only imagine when someone is getting hit by beads or whatever trinkets. I can only imagine when someone is getting hit by someone who's throwing deliberately. I can only imagine how much that hurts. And so we've had that incident, but someone in the crew of Tux decided to take it a step further. Than just throwing aggressively at people.
Yeah. So the Tux crew, let me correct that. Somebody riding a Tux float did something outrageous. So there are pictures of a Tux rider with a racist doll hanging from the float. Appears to be a black female doll and hanging like lynching from the float wall. And there's even video of a guy who seems to be enjoying doing this. And so a number of people saw this and thankfully got pissed off. That includes Mayor Helena Moreno, who issued a statement, and it reads, quote, "Let me be clear, the display is deeply offensive, unacceptable, and has no place in the city. New Orleans is built on respect, diversity, and inclusion. Actions that seek to demean or intimidate any member of our community violate the very spirit of who we are. Our celebrations, particularly those where our children and families attend, should be spaces of joy and unity, not exposure to hateful or harmful imagery. I, along with Council President Morrell, have contacted the crew of Tux leadership to identify those responsible and ensure full accountability. And the crew responded.
Yeah, so the crew of Tux, they released their own statement on their social media platform on Facebook, actually. So their statement says the offensive photos have been brought to our attention, and we share the same sentiment as the mayor. This behavior is intolerable and completely contrary to the beliefs and values that the crew of Tux holds. We intend to fully investigate this incident, and the responsible riders will no longer be permitted to have any association with the parade. The leadership wishes this had been brought to our attention during the parade because it would have been addressed immediately. This was brought to our attention through social media, and we are immediately investigating. Since its inception, the crew of Tux has been one of the most diverse parades in Mardi Gras. We are offended by this behavior, and it will not be tolerated. Mardi Gras is a celebration of New Orleans and its diverse and rich culture. We apologize for this racist display during our parade, and please know this is not who we are, and we will address this swiftly.
Well, it caused quite a bit of outrage, and a lot of people responding with all kinds of points of view, and that includes Black Source Media. Jeff Thomas weighed in on this, and the headline is, "This was not a joke, it was a threat. Hate on Mardi Gras float, New Orleans must draw a line now." So I'm going to read part of this, and if Mr. Thomas is listening, I'm sure we'd like to have him join our conversation about this. Let's be clear about what happened. A member or members of crew of Tux rode through New Orleans streets during Mardi Gras displaying what appeared to be a black girl doll hanging by beads. A majority black city, in a city where racial violence has deep historical roots, and in a celebration meant to unite to the community. The image carries one meaning. It echoes lynching, terror, and the era memorialized in Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit. This is not satire. It is not edgy humor. It is not intimidation. Mardi Gras exists to celebrate shared joy across lines of race and class. What rode through our streets instead was a symbol of racial violence, visible to families, visible to children, unchallenged for miles, which kind of speaks to the crew leader's point. Please let us know about these things along the way, but I don't know why it didn't come to their attention sooner, especially with video and all. But back to Mr. Thomas. We've heard this script before. This is not who we are. Oh. We regret the incident. We condemn the behavior. Words without consequences are meaningless. If someone had brought a weapon onto a float and fired into the crowd, we would not accept an apology. We would demand prosecution, bans, and structural reform. No bullets were fired here, but terror is not defined solely by physical harm. Terror includes fear and intimidation, and a lynching image riding openly through a city in 2026 is an act of terror. If the evidence supports it, prosecutors should evaluate whether this act rises to the level of hate crime under Louisiana law. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Morrell has pledged to enforce the law to its fullest extent in matters involving public safety and civil rights. This moment demands that clarity. If laws were broken, prosecution must follow. If rules were violated, expulsion must follow. And if leadership failed in oversight, structural reform must follow. Accountability cannot be symbolic, it must be real. Each Mardi Gras crew operates with significant autonomy. That autonomy comes with responsibility. If one member can ride for miles displaying racial terror imagery without immediate intervention, oversight has failed. The crew of Tux must conduct a transparent internal review, disclose what happened, who knew what and when, impose a meaningful discipline on those responsible. If meaningful reform does not occur, city leaders should consider sanctions, including suspension from future parades. This is not radical. It is responsible governments. Mardi Gras as a culture is also economics. Hundreds of millions of dollars flow into New Orleans each carnival season. Hotels fill, restaurants thrive, workers earn income. Tax revenue rises. The event is one of the city's annual revenue drivers, and we cannot allow racist spectacle to poison that well. Well, there's more to it, so be sure to catch that on blacksourcemedia.com so you can read the complete commentary by Jeff Thomas. Jeff Thomas, if you're listening, we certainly would welcome you to call in to the talk line, 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. Meanwhile, let's hear what you have to say. You, our WBOK family of listeners, to talk line again is, what's that number, Eddie?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
All right. Well, maybe Mr. Thomas is listening. Maybe he might call before the 8 o'clock hour if he's available. So, some people might say, well, it's only one doll. It's only one person, only one float. It's not like this was their special memorabilia throw that they were having. Some guy did this.
My question is, I mean, okay, yeah, thank you for the statement. My question is, what is the culture of your crew?
Yeah.
That is the thing. I actually just did, I do stuff on, I do stuff on social media. And there was a commentary I just did on social media about how culture eats strategy for breakfast, right? And I mean, anyone who has worked in any kind of, operations part of an organization, anyone who has ever run an organization, who's led an organization, who has done any of this kind of work, you know exactly what I mean. You can make as many plans as you want to achieve whatever great things you want to achieve. If you don't have the culture within your organization that's going to respect the plan or respect the rules or respect whatever it is, then it's just not going to work. So my question is, yeah, I appreciate the statement by Tux, but my question is, what is the real culture of that crew? Because if someone felt emboldened enough to do that, that means that somewhere in that crew, in my opinion, there is a culture of that behavior, and there's a culture of that view of black folks. And so my question is, what is Tucson going to do about the culture of their crew? There's a lot of frustration. Right now, we do have a pretty active conversation developing on Facebook. As a matter of fact, Mel Ma said on Facebook, boycott Tux crew, and the company's endorsing Tux. She said, fine Tux. Karen Marks said that the city must move to ensure this never happens again. To the attendees of parades, Tux should incur a hefty fine and all other kinds of similar incidents, including removal from ever parading in the streets of New Orleans. And part of my question is that unreasonable? Are those unreasonable asks?
Right.
Because I do think a fine is in order. That's what I would do. You see these strong words that the mayor used, deeply offensive, unacceptable, has no place in our city. The AG, she did do a statement herself, Liz Morrell, where she said the conduct is absolutely abhorrent and entirely unacceptable. It is deeply disgraceful that anyone who has any privilege to ride in New Orleans Mardi Gras Parade would choose to stain the entire crew in the event of this matter. And I'm not trying to make light of her statement, but we keep seeing the same quote unquote strong language over and over again after this stuff happens. And everyone is talking about how deeply offensive it is, how vulgar, abhorrent, and all this other stuff. But we have people who are also saying there actually is something that the city of New Orleans can do. And my question is, would the city have the courage to do something that makes a strong statement? The other thing I would say is this. As as far as people making these statements are concerned, again, I appreciate it. I think they mean well, for the most part. My question is, this was a writer who was hanging a doll in effigy of a black woman. When is someone going to talk specifically about the harm that comes to the black community of New Orleans? Because that's the thing. We're the ones who are hurt by this.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones who are hurt by this. We're the ones who bring our kids out to these parades. We stand out there. We want our kids to have fun. And all we want to do is just have some fun. That's it. We want our kids to catch some beads, take them home, and then go to sleep, right? This is the routine that we are all used to. And whichever kids might have noticed that, because, I mean, some kids definitely noticed it, now they have to grow up with that imagery. And now they have to say, well, I'm from New Orleans, and I want to tell people that Mardi Gras is the greatest thing in the world. But when I was 7, I saw this white man hang a black doll off the side of a float.
Right.
I don't know if Mardi Gras is for me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a kid, maybe a kid who grew up in Central City, in the heart of the city. They might graduate from college here, and they're going to be spending the rest of their lives going, is Mardi Gras really for us though?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is this really a celebration?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is this? And so I think those are some issues that, if we're going to be serious about this, if the mayor is going to be serious and other officials are going to be serious about this, I do think they have to take serious action.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can miss me with the statements now. Thank you for the statement. Thank you. That's great. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of justice done after you talked about this vulgar act. Yay.
Right.
So what now? What now? And so, yeah, this is, this is, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Like right now, I just feel nothing but frustration over this. And so I would just implore the city officials to do something real, that actually has teeth, that actually shows that they appreciate this black community, by the way, on whose backs an entire culture and economy has been built. Right? So, I mean, the irony if this white man who hung this black doll in effigy got to go home and eat some gumbo, an African-inspired dish. The irony if he got to do that, which I'm sure he did.
Yep. Well, it's 7:49 a.m. We are in conversation about some carnival goings on this weekend. In the last few days, we've got all kinds of wonderful things happening, but then some people trying to ruin it for the rest of us. And in this particular case, it was a guy on a float on a crew of Tux with a black doll hanging in effigy. So right after we take a break, hope to hear from the author of that piece on Black Source Media, Jeff Thomas. I'm Will Sutton, and I'm right here with Eddie Francis. We're upset and disappointed, and we want to see some things happen. I do remind you all that every year after the carnival season, City Council does a review and looks at specific situations, positive and negative, economic and otherwise, and makes some decisions. So will this be one of the decisions that they follow up on, take action that seems to make sense? Well, let's hope so. Meanwhile, I'm still wondering, why is somebody being arrested? That's on me, okay? That's just what I think. All right, this is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis. We're in conversation about the good and the bad about carnival season. Right now, we focus on the bad and one very specific thing: a racist black doll held in lynching mode in effigy. We've got the author of the Black Source Media piece about that on the line right now. Good morning, Mr. Jeff Thomas. You're on with Will Sutton and Eddie Francis. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Good morning, guys. It's great to be on with you. I only have a short period. Thank you for reading a lot of the piece, and I encourage people to go to Think504 BlackSourceMedia.com and read it. You know, I think, Eddie, you stole a lot of my thunder, which is this. I think what this moment helps us is to define crew culture and crew behavior. So we can't really, control crew culture, but we can control crew behavior. And so there should be permit. I know that there are parade standards, and parades have to get permits to go out there on our streets. But I don't know that there has ever been a serious misstep like this that's taken place. For my money, these guys need to have their parade permit yanked. I don't think that they need to be allowed to continue to parade, because Eddie, you touched on it, which is the fact that, this is a part of, it seems to me to be a part of the culture. This thing was riding for miles. It wasn't just one person. I've ridden on floats in the past, and I got to tell you, what's going on all around you with the people who are next to you. So, this isn't funny. This isn't a joke. This is very serious. And in the city of New Orleans, we can't allow this kind of stuff to become normalized. And so when you normalize racist behavior, next thing you're going to have is a Ku Klux Klan throwing little pickaninny dolls and that kind of stuff. It's absurd sounding, but, nobody thought the kinds of things that Donald Trump would doing would happen. And so I think we have to have a firm and immediate response to this. And we can't take this lightly. We have to come down with the velvet hammer, but hard and heavy. It just is despicable, this behavior, and we can't allow it to happen on our streets. These people pay to parade on our streets, and we can't accept money for this. We got to stop it. That's where I am on this thing.
Well, the city leaders, and not just the city administration, each city administration for the most part has taken action on some things like this and made comments. But for the most part, and if somebody says I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But the review takes place after the season, and
That's
then
correct.
things are considered, and then actions taken. In some cases, things are taken away. So a crew permit is taken away. Their slot is given to another slot, given to another crew. Things of that nature, or you can no longer throw these kinds of throws, or you're limited to these hours and this route and those kinds of things. But so much of that comes after the season. And I know we don't have much of the season left, but we have Monday and Tuesday, and I hate to see something like this happen again.
Well, I think you're right, Will, and you're 100% correct about that. And that is why I've written this article. That's why I'm on the radio with you guys today, because I know city leaders listen to us and read Think 504 and that kind of stuff, Black Source Media. It's important that when we go into this review session and when we look at what happened, we need to take this serious. I mean, we of course need to have an immediate identification. I don't understand why these riders have not been identified. We need to know. I think that there needs to be some consequences for them publicly. I mean, they were brave enough to go on a float and ride around and have this thing swinging in the air. And who knows if that was the only one. I bet there were others that they threw. Other people may not have realized it. Maybe they threw it to some white folks who enjoyed getting it. But I got to tell you, this is a part of for years, black people have talked about this undercurrent at Mardi Gras, which is that certain riders don't throw to black kids, black people. Black people wave up there and to the white people next to them. Now, listen, I've ridden on floats, and when I see somebody I know, I'm going to throw it to somebody I know. And I never had enough throws to throw to everybody, nor does anybody. But there's this behavior that people recognize that oftentimes these organizations don't throw to black folks. I mean, this is a real experience that I've had and other people have talked to me about. And so we cannot allow Mardi Gras is the golden goose. New Orleans, we know that the New Orleans economy drives the state's economy. We know that Mardi Gras is the biggest annual event that happens here. This is the state and the city can count on budget revenue. And, like the city right now is suffering right now. This is going to bring immediate money into the coffers of the city of New Orleans. And so that we risk the biggest revenue driver for the state and the city is unconscionable. And even if you have some similar thoughts about black people and think that it's a funny thing to throw these things, you don't want to risk the dollars that come in. So even those people who may feel like this is funny, I have to understand that for the vast majority of people, this isn't funny. This is a despicable act. And, I got an 8 o'clock meeting that I'm about to jump on. I thank you guys for this time this morning.
All right.
And thanks for reading it, Will. And Eddie, good talking to you. And keep up the great work. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, blessings. Well, before we go to break, I just want to remind people that I've enjoyed the Crew of Colors. Mm-hmm. It's a fun parade, but there are elements of whatever parade, Zulu, Oshun, or otherwise, that if an individual isn't in sync with the culture and doing things, then that needs to be taken into account. Just a quick reminder, 3 years ago, this is the crew where a rider at Gallia Hall threw a middle finger at the mayor. That's this crew.
Yeah.
Okay?
Patterns.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right. So it's 8 a.m. We got to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking with Quentin Brown from the New Orleans Fire Department about Mardi Gras safety. Yes, we still have today and tomorrow. We need to be safe. He's going to come on and share some tips with us, talk about what we can do, what we ought to do. what we must do. All right. You're listening to WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City is calling for lifeguard applicants as it battles ongoing shortages since the pandemic. Mayor Zohran Mamdani in a pre-recorded video.
While you might think about lifeguarding as a summer job, we actually start hiring for them in the winter. It's a great way to make a difference in New York City, and we need lifeguards.
Candidates must be at least 16 by July 18th, pass a vision test, and swim 50 yards in 50 seconds. A lawyer for Smokey Robinson is asking a court to sanction one of the women accusing the Motown legend of sexual misconduct, saying she's dodging a deposition. Robinson and his wife deny the allegations, and the attorney wants the plaintiff barred from testifying at any future trial. And WNBA player Rickea Jackson says she's willing to testify against her ex-boyfriend, Falcons player James Pierce Jr. Her attorneys filed notice after Jackson told police he rammed her car multiple times. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK, 1230 a.m. The talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. Quite a conversation about the good and then the bad and the ugly of Mardi Gras season with that black woman hanging in effigy. Not cool. Crew of Tucks, that was. Crew of Tucks. So, look, we're going to jump into something with a little bit more of a bright spot because with some tips in mind and taking the right precautions, you can have a good and fun Mardi Gras season, a good Lundi Gras, a good Mardi Gras on tomorrow. And we got Quentin Brown here from the New Orleans Fire Department to talk with us about that. I'm Will Sutton with Eddie Francis. It's 8:05 a.m. Got somewhere to be at 8:15. You got 10 minutes to get there. Be safe, whatever you do. All right, so we've got the season started on January 6th. Yes. The serious part of Mardi Gras season started just a couple weeks ago. We got a couple more days to go, today and tomorrow, but you all still want people to be safe, and there's still people that need to learn a lesson or two. So you're here to help them out with what's required and all, because I don't know if you've seen it, but there's still a lot of social media angst about, well, I saw so-and-so doing this and doing that, and they're not supposed to be doing that. Right. So some people realize there are things that aren't supposed to be done, but maybe not cooperate. So give us a good overview for the time that we have left for today and tomorrow.
Well,
welcome to the Good Morning.
Thank you. Good to be here. for the fire department, we do a lot of things that are kind of behind the scenes. And just to kind of give ourselves a plug, we have the NOLA Fire Department site on Instagram and Facebook. And it kind of gives you a general idea of exactly what the fire department does when they're not being seen on the street. Of course, for years we had fire trucks in the parades, but it was determined that it would be more effective if we pulled them out, because initially what they thought that with past administrations was that a fire truck on the on the parade route would help, but after some thought about it, it would be better just to have them in place on the outside, on the outskirts of the response area, so to speak, as opposed to actually in the parade, where if something happened, they wouldn't be able to separate the
I always wondered about that. Okay,
yeah. So it probably was more of a public relations thing, and even today we still get a lot of people asking, well, why aren't the fire trucks in the parades anymore? Because that was our marker as to determine when the parade was over.
Right.
You know? So
I had that happen this Saturday. People were like,
is it over?
Is it over?
Right. But for public safety, everything that we do is geared toward public safety, and it was determined that it would be better if we were on the outside to be able to respond into a situation. Right. So that part. Also, whenever fire department or public safety agencies are responding, we tend to because of the crowds and the traffic, people have a hard time, adjusting to which way do I go, or there's a lot of things that I've experienced in my career or just personally, where people are either listening to music in their cars, or they're not really paying attention to their surroundings, and if you see those flashing lights or you hear a siren, typically they're going to see flashing lights because the music's probably too loud in the car. And pay attention to your surroundings, and pull over to the right and stop and let the emergency vehicles come through, because I've been kind of moving around in the city in the last couple of days, and the traffic is horrendous. I guess we're just having a lot of visitors, which is great, but if you try to move around in these, anywhere around a parade or getting to or coming from a parade, it's rough. It's rough. So we ask people to, just kind of be cognizant of any emergency vehicle responding.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back there's so much more that needs to be shared so that we can be safe, and not the least of which is what about those ladders? What about those ladders? Is a step stool okay? Is a house ladder okay? What about the ones with seats for 3 and 4 kids?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to that right after the break. This is the Good Morning Show on WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good morning and happy Monday. I'm Morgan Lentes with WDSU News, and here's a look at today's headlines. It is officially Lundi Gras, and several parades roll tonight in the final sprint to Fat Tuesday. Uptown, the crew of Proteus starts at 5:15 p.m., and after that, the crew of Orpheus rolls at 6. And in Metairie, the crew of Centurions rolls at 6. It is followed by the crew of Atlas. And before those parades, the King of Zulu will be in Kenner for his annual toast with the King of Argus. They will also exchange gifts and have a second line. This is happening in Rivertown at 10 a.m. Then you can head to the riverfront in New Orleans, where Zulu's annual Lundi Gras Festival, the all-day free event, culminates with the arrival of Zulu royalty around 5 p.m., and the King of Carnival arrives not long after and will be handed the key to the city by Mayor Helena Moreno and other local leaders. Finally, in non-Mardi Gras news, the Sewerage and Water Board says it is actively working to repair a water main break in Treme. This happened over the weekend on North Galvez near St. Louis Street. We're told crews are working to resolve the issue quickly. This follows a massive water main break a few weeks ago on Panola Street that opened up a sinkhole and prompted a large boil water advisory. And that is a look at today's headlines. I'm Morgan Lenters with WDSU News. Have a great day.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. It's 8:12 a.m. You got somewhere to be for 8:15. You got 3 minutes. 8:30 is much better. So 3 minutes. I hope it's really close. Maybe on the side of the bed, or in the next room. You can bounce up and get going. But if you're off for the day and you're heading out for Lundi Gras, please be safe. Watch out for all the other people who are doing the driving thing. But there is some public transportation available, and there's rideshare if you have the change to do that. And, of course, there are bikes for those of you all who have bikes. It's a good way to get around as well. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis, and we're talking with Quentin Brown of the New Orleans Fire Department. And, Eddie, you were looking up some of the New Orleans Fire Department info.
Yeah, I mean, because right on cue, as Captain Brown talked about the fire department having its social media channels. So if you take a look at New Orleans Fire Department on Facebook, for instance, they have done their Lundi Gras warnings for people, and that is to stay behind the barricades, out of the street, listen to public safety officials. I'll say that one for you just again. I'll say that one just for you, all right? Listen to public safety officials. Don't cross the street between floats. So the other night I was at Muses, and there were some kids who were scaring me. Yeah. Like, I mean, Halim and I almost became everybody's parents.
Yeah.
It was scary. It was really scary. Don't go after beads or other throws that land near passing floats. Remember, so this is one we probably need to talk about, Cap. Remember, no open flames or grills on the parade route.
Touchy subject, huh?
I mean, I don't do it, but I'm just saying that, I'm walking down St. Charles, and I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
that you're not supposed to do.
Right.
Okay.
The past few years, 2 or 3 years, City Council has accepted or implemented these safety measures in order to keep things under control, because a lot of times when people see other people doing things, they think it's okay. So it apparently has become a hazard for us in public safety. Well, speaking specifically for the fire department, grills are, you're cooking, and a lot of times those things aren't permitted. Not having a permit, and it causes all kinds of problems. A lot of times people don't, even if they're using charcoal, at the end of the night, they don't discard it, properly. There are a number of different issues. You could get a fire along the parade route. They're under tents. We have specific permits that you have to use and that you have to get in order to do outdoor cooking. And sometimes these things get out of hand. You might jump, and people are pushing some of these tents together, and a tent will get lit and it'll keep going, and now we've got a major hazard. You have a lot of people in the area. People get hurt, trampled. It may even run into the actual parade.
So you're not talking about food vendors.
Right.
Talking about individuals,
It's about
Yes.
families
Yes.
and individuals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vendors are typically permitted, and they know that they're supposed to line or set up a certain distance from the route. But people in the city tend to want to be close to the parade, and they want to put everything right along the line.
Well, actually, yeah, I saw something yesterday that again, that it was a gasp moment for me, where someone had a tent. They did not put stakes in the ground with the tent, and yesterday was really windy,
Yes.
so the tent went.
Yep.
And they had to catch the tent and everything, and I'm going, oh man! And I thought to myself, I hope nobody over there has a grill. And because I was like, oh goodness, if somebody has a grill and this tent is flying all over the place, then
Right.
there could be a problem. Yeah.
Even though it doesn't happen that often, sometimes we may not even know. Those things may happen and we don't know. But on the side of safety, to prepare for those things beforehand, that's why we ask people to be more cognizant and be about safety. There was a point I wanted to make about something. I can't think of it.
We
right now.
actually, before break, we were starting to go into ladders.
Yeah, tell us about the ladders.
Ladders.
I mean, there's so many. I'm not opposed to ladders,
Right.
but and I was on parade routes this weekend, and there were ladders, and they were reasonable. I felt there was reasonable ladders. There was a couple of step stools. There was I'll call it a household ladder as opposed to a house outside kind of ladder, and a little girl up here and a woman on the other ladder, and they were nice enough to get up and get down so you could see and you kind of move around them. But we're talking about the gargantuan ladder setups where they don't sell them like that at Lowe's or Home Depot.
Right.
They kind of make it into something else. So
Yeah.
what's okay, what's not okay, and where does the New Orleans Fire Department fit with that versus New Orleans Police and other enforcement agencies?
Okay. So just to be clear, the New Orleans Fire Department is not an enforcement agency. However, we do have our Fire Prevention Division, who does enforce fire code. So with that, there are a number of things, and we did mention our social media sites, and that explains everything. Okay. Because of my advanced age, I can't remember everything and that's a joke, that is required per policy.
Yeah.
But you could always refer to our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and so on to get the specific information about that. Typically with ladders, for instance, they have to be at least 5 to 6 feet away from the curb. Okay, so that
that doesn't happen.
No. Who among us, right?
Okay.
But those need to be set back from the curb in case there's an incident where the children or whoever's on the ladder fall into the street, where the parade is passing. Maybe horses, maybe cars passing, maybe floats. So we ask people to just use a little bit of common sense, which isn't really common these days, but we ask people to do these things for their own safety, and the people around them, because as you mentioned, some of those ladders are manipulated together in ways that they shouldn't be. And if you have a large ladder that's been put together, so to speak, and that somebody runs by or anything happens and that comes down, your kids that are in that ladder will be hurt. So, or people, whoever's on the ladder, or the people around them. So we just ask people to use a little bit of common sense. It's a constant issue that we have to deal with. But as public safety,
So what
people,
about
that's
the
what we do.
neutral ground side? It's supposed to be 5 or 6 feet back from there.
It's supposed to be back from everything. Yeah, it's supposed to be back.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
They're right up against
Yes.
the float.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
Yes, they
he
are.
knows.
And again, we work with a bunch of different agencies. Everything. And I heard someone mention on another interview, they say we can't possibly enforce all these things, right? So, and if we did, we'd just be, doing that the whole time that we were out there working. And we meaning public safety, be it police or whomever. But we have to ask people to use common sense, use a little bit of safety initiative, and take those things that are dangerous into your to your conscious, and make sure that you're safe for yourself and the people around you.
So you got the ladder issue. We covered grills.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was wondering about, or at least the other thing you mentioned off air before we talked about this, is issues with parking. So what kinds of issues should people be aware of as far as parking is concerned, or at least safety issues?
Okay. So regardless of whether the street's blocked and you're not able to access that street, those streets should still be clear.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because what we've experienced, especially for the fire service, we have these large trucks.
Yeah.
And like I said, we don't have the truck in the parade, so we're responding from outside in. And along these parade routes for miles, we have people parking, and they walk. So we ask people to not park by fire hydrants, not park too close to intersections, because we have to turn those trucks into those intersections. Don't block them, because just because the street's blocked off by police doesn't mean that you still are supposed to block the intersection.
Saw a lot of that yesterday.
We have those problems
constantly. A lot of
constantly.
that yesterday. Yeah.
We have those problems constantly, and just trying to maneuver those trucks through there. If we do have a free space, if you're parked too close to the corner, the fire truck can't make that turn.
Yeah.
So we ask people to follow the instructions in parking, and not block hydrants and not block intersections, because there may be a car blocking the intersection and prohibits us to get to somebody's house that's on fire.
Yeah.
So, and it and we spoke about the traffic. Trying to get around some of this stuff is almost impossible. So typically on our response, on a one alarm response, we have 3 pumps, or what we call fire engines, and a ladder, and a chief. And if we can't get those vehicles in there, somebody's house, goes and burns down, or you may have a number of houses that catch because of it, because of the lack of response, because one person or 2 people did the wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean, because so this came up yesterday actually, where family, and we're hanging out in Maroon, and Captain Brown, his son, and my son went to high school together. Well, as it turns out, my son couldn't move his car because people decided to park in the middle of the street.
Ooh, it's crazy.
They parked in the side street, and a couple of them. I think there was one guy who's like, "Oh no, just let me know and I'll move." I was like, "Dude, how about you just don't park there in the middle of the street?" I mean, and so it was, and we kept asking this question. Well, what if he had a legitimate emergency?
Right.
Like if he had to
Right, he
get
did.
out of there.
Right.
And, so he and I are sitting there making these plans. I'm going, well, it's not a cool idea, but here's how you can maneuver on the sidewalk. And I'm going, this is not what we want to do. But if anything if anything happens and you have got to get out of here, and we had to go over all these different plans to get him out of there in case something happened.
Right.
But it was his car. Maybe there was 6 cars that were blocked in because people parked in the middle, literally the middle of the street.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Man,
it's a problem. It's a problem.
All right, so we got Lundi Gras today, Mardi Gras tomorrow. What is your biggest concerns and things that you want people to pay attention to most? Because these are the final 2 days, the big 2 days, and of course tomorrow's just going to be really, really hectic and lots of fun, but their safety is a concern.
Yes. The organization, the fire department, and the city of New Orleans just would like everyone to be very conscious and cognizant of their surroundings. Consider other people. if you don't want it done to you, don't do it to anybody else. That we're talking about the parking. Just be aware of what you're doing and have your safety hat on at all times. Eddie mentioned my son. I remember as he grew up, I always told him to be conscious of your surroundings. You're walking down the street, or if you just go out to your car, just pay attention and see what's going on, and pay attention to what's going on around you. And I know the big tagline for the city is if you see something, say something. Mm-hmm. And those things are important. Watch everything that goes on around you, and it just may not be anything bad. It may be something that could help somebody else. It could be, in the safety, having that mindset of safety. Mm-hmm. Just pay attention to what's going on. You see somebody parked illegally and something happens, you're like, well, we can't. You just remember, we can't go this way because the car was in the way, because we won't be able to get out. So just have a great time. For our visitors, I've noticed we have a lot of visitors in town, as we usually do, and our locals. You guys are familiar with us. The visitors aren't really, but help us out. We appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. And when it gets to the end of the parade, don't look for the fire truck.
Don't look for the fire truck.
That's going to take some getting used to.
I know, it's been since a little kid. Actually, it hasn't. I don't think we've had fire trucks on the route now maybe 5 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Somewhere.
That makes sense.
Yeah, still looking for it.
Yeah,
I know.
I do too. Strangely enough.
Yeah, right.
I bet you do. Yeah.
And I know it. I know they're not going to be there, but
right.
It's
weird. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Quentin Brown, for joining us from the New Orleans Fire Department, helping us be aware, get some good safety tips, things that we should not do, even some things that are illegal. So take that into account. And of course, you can find the New Orleans Fire Department online and on social media.
Yes, you can. Yep. I'm actually taking a look at them on Instagram right now. NOLA Fire Dept. NOLA Fire Department on Instagram, but you can catch them there. You can also catch them on Facebook. And the social media is up and going.
Yep.
All right. Wonderful. It's 8:28 a.m. This is the Good Morning Show. We're going to be taking a break. The talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. What are you all doing for Lundi Gras? What are you doing for Mardi Gras? Give us a ring. And what about some of the news of the moment, local, state, national? We'll be getting to some of that after the break, but we sure would like to know what's on your mind. Once again, that talk line is, what is it, Ed?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
All right. WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
We're starting off mostly cloudy for the first half of the day. Then we get to the afternoon, we'll start to see some clearing. And as that happens, highs today will eventually rise 67 to 73 degrees. No rain expected. Light little breeze for us as well. Lows for tonight, 50 to 54. Increasing clouds and a mostly cloudy day for your Mardi Gras day. Highs will be 72 to 74. Warming up to the 80s later this week. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com. Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Welcome Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
The National World War II Museum, located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans. The National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Louisiana's Julia Letlow. What do they have in common? Liberal Julia Letlow voted with Joe Biden more than any other Louisiana Republican in the U.S. House. And just like Nancy Pelosi, Letlow has traded hundreds of stocks while serving in Congress. Worse, Letlow violated federal insider trading laws by failing to report her shady stock trades, potentially millions of dollars worth. But that's not all. Before she went to Congress, liberal Julia Letlow was a university bureaucrat. She instituted radical DEI policies, woke sensitivity training, and the university put up a public art display honoring defund the police activists. Is that what Louisiana wants in the U.S. Senate? Conservatives just can't trust liberal Julia Letlow. Louisiana Freedom Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. LouisianaFreedomFund.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another open enrollment update. Who do I have on the line today?
Hi, you're speaking with Vanessa Scott of BSG of Louisiana.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is open enrollment?
The open enrollment period is for Medicare members that want to change from one plan to another.
Why is open enrollment so important?
Because a lot of people missed out on the annual enrollment period, so they need to have a one-on-one review.
And if you have questions or concerns about your Medicare plans, what should you do?
You just pick up the phone, call 504-621-3687. We even come out to your house. Zero cost to them.
Get with BSG of Louisiana for your Medicare review.
For church groups, senior communities, or disability organizations, call 504-621-3687. We are an independent insurance agency providing information about Medicare-related insurance plans. We are not connected or endorsed by Medicare or the U.S. government.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK, 1230 a.m. The talk line is 504-582-9422. And I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis.
Good morning.
With Quentin Brown about Mardi Gras safety. How about that? Those ladders, even the legal ones, supposed to be 5 to 6 feet back from the line.
Boy, it's interesting what happens when you talk to the officials, isn't it? It's interesting when you find out what people are supposed to be doing.
Man, the ladders
and not
that
supposed
I
to
saw
be doing.
were, maybe 6 inches away
Oh,
from
yeah.
the boats.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
5
Yeah.
to 6 feet.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
That's the way it's supposed to go.
Wow. Wow. And so those folks I saw under the tarps and all with their little portable grills, they weren't supposed to be there.
No, probably not.
Yeah, right.
Especially under a tarp with an open flame.
Yeah, right.
That's probably not a good idea.
So
man.
more opportunities to be safe today and tomorrow, Lundi Gras and Mardi Gras, folks. So please pay attention to what you heard Quentin Brown talk about today right here on WBOK on the Good Morning Show. And otherwise, you can check him out, as Eddie told you, on Facebook and on Instagram, so you can see what you're supposed to do. And as Captain Brown said, they're not the enforcement agency,
right?
But they are watching, and they need your help to make sure that they can move around and get things done. So be aware of that, please, please, please. So look, there's other news in the world, and some of it's not so good. So let's dive into a couple of those things. For one thing, the Louisiana Attorney General has called for a probe of the New Orleans Juvenile Justice Court. So this is yet another in a series of salvos about the success or lack thereof of ankle monitors. So according to a report by Missy Wilkinson, my colleague over at the Times-Picayune, the juvenile justice system responsible for these ankle monitors have not been doing a good job of making sure that the ankle monitors are doing what they're supposed to do. So that includes issuing police monitors, ankle monitors that are not working. So the Attorney General, Liz Murray, is turning up the heat. According to the story, she's asked the Louisiana Judiciary Commission to investigate Judge Candace Bates Anderson for actions per inaction regarding 2 juveniles later tied to high-profile killings who were assigned to ankle monitors that weren't being tracked. And this was a February 4th complaint, and also asking that all of the juvenile court judges be investigated as pertains to the ankle monitors, because Ms. Murrow says there are too many instances where these young folks who are part of the system, ankle monitoring is part of the public safety, and because of the lack of their consistently working, bad things are happening, and they're repeat offensive. So yesterday, the AG said this: the Supreme Court should address this situation. It's extraordinarily frustrating that people continue to be injured and killed because of juvenile court justices putting individuals with violent charges in ankle monitors, then inadequately supervising them. It's a fixable problem, and the court has the ability to fix it. According to Missy, the juvenile court judges did not respond to an email request for comment about Murrow's comments to the commission. And that commission can recommend discipline to the Louisiana Supreme Court, which could include removal from the bench. So that's pretty serious stuff. And according to the AG, she met with the juvenile court justices, but they did not talk about the specifics for whatever reason. So pretty serious situation, because when ankle monitors are faulty and it becomes a news story because somebody was supposed to be monitored and they're not monitored and something bad happens, lots of people want to know, why did this happen?
Yeah. I mean, that is one of those. This is one of those stories where you just constantly you read through it and you just ask yourself, how? Just what's happening exactly? Because this is just one of those stories. It's discouraging. It really is discouraging. So I mean, it's just a matter of just trying to figure out, well, what exactly the issue is. And the other part of it to me is also, where exactly is the solution? This isn't one of those things where, it's like, okay, well, whose head has to roll for this? But, but rather, okay, so where's the solution? Can we get to the solution, please?
Right.
Not let this turn into political posturing.
Right.
Let's just get to a solution, because more than anything else is public safety. And that requires people figuring out how they're going to work together on this sort of stuff. I know that's probably asking a lot, but that's what I would like to see.
Well, speaking of political part, obviously, Les Murrow is a Republican, but the Orleans Parish District Attorney, Jason Williams, is a Democrat.
Yeah.
And he's had his own tussles with the AG's office and also areas of cooperation. On this one, he says he supports the call for a greater accountability. And in an interview just recently, he said there are probably as many gaps in the juvenile monitoring system as there are ankle monitorings out in the community right now. It is not a strong system. He said the system, quote, really suggests a level of public safety that's not there, close quote. So that's not a high degree of confidence. And so, first of all, there's the issue, the philosophy of ankle monitoring, and whether that's a good idea for a part of how the justice system should operate. If you get to the point where you say it is a good idea, it's a legitimate part of dealing with how many people are incarcerated, how flexible judges can be, and how flexible the public should be with different levels of criminal activity. You can put an ankle monitor on somebody to kind of keep track of their whereabouts. Then you want to trust that that system is working. You don't want it to go out, and you certainly don't want to use an ankle monitor that wasn't working in the first place.
Right.
You know, so that's some bad stuff. So I know that the juvenile court judges are overwhelmed with all kinds of cases, and for those people who don't realize it, I mean, it's certainly not a day court kind of thing. So things are happening all types of day and night. They get called in the middle of the night and all, and deal with some of these situations. And then there's the court hearings that are treated a very different way than criminal court, but people do want to know that they're going to be safe, whatever justice is being meted one place or another, in one case or another. So definitely something to be aware of. We want to hear more about that, and in the end, if we're going to use ankle monitors, they need to work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's that. And we've got other things that have been going on, not the least of which is there was a breaking story on Friday. Blake Patterson from the Times-Picayune broke a story about the Essence Festival, and looks like they haven't paid some bills.
Yeah, this was one of those what stories. So the story starts saying that the Essence Festival of Culture owes the Ernest N. Morial Convention Center more than $400,000 from last year's event and is past due on paying at least one other major contractor, alarming some local officials and complicating efforts to secure crucial state funding for the 2026 festival, which, by the way, is in July. So that the time is not on people's side here. Wow. And so there's this media group, Sundial Media Group. They purchased Essence in 2018, and there's an outstanding balance of $456,000 as of Tuesday, representing more than 60% of its charges for hosting 3 days of panels, workshops, and other events from July 4th to 6th, of course, last year. The convention center will share the information in response to a public records request requires that balances be settled within 30 days of an event. I think we're a little past 30 days.
Well beyond.
Yeah. The convention center said that they did receive a $50,000 payment from Essence, and so now the balance is down to $406,000. So this is this is a very interesting story. So now there's another part of the story where it says Essence also owes a local production company more than $1 million, according to a source familiar with the situation who asked not to be named. And the delay in payments is the latest in the latest issue in a crop of issues for Essence, according to the story. Brings tens of thousands of people, of course, to the Crescent City. 2025, Essence, as we all knew, faced some complaints from attendees over the aspects of the show in the Superdome. And of course, there were some local vendors who did have complaints about dealing with Essence. This is our story, but there were some local folks who had some issues as far as dealing with the festival. So, so that is really surprising, man. Really surprising.
Well, you don't expect a operation of that size and that brand of that significance to be late on bills of that size. I'll say
Right.
that. You might be late with $1,500 here because no, we told you this. This is what it says, and have some dispute. But unless we hear or see reporting, otherwise it doesn't seem that there's any indication that there is a reasonable dispute, and that is the problem. So if there is something that Essence can point to that says, here's why, there's a reason why we haven't paid the convention center more than $400,000, and here it is, because they didn't do this as a part. Well, let us know what it is, because otherwise, hearing that you're not just 30 days late, but a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months late. And we love Essence Fest.
Yeah, I mean,
we want to see it continue.
Yeah, so one of the comments on Facebook is time for a new event for the 4th of July weekend. Do you really want to do that? Because Essence Fest does bring a lot of money to the city. And so there was actually let me see. My story decided to refresh. But there was actually a number that Dillard had done. They had done some economic development research here. 2024, it was estimated that $345 million came in economic revenue for the city. And that's according to a study that was done by Dillard. And so, when you say it's time for something new, that means you got to figure out what's going to replace that revenue.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like, okay, we're going to stop this, but what you going to do?
Yeah.
Summer's a tough time.
It is.
And this is one of the things that started during the Marco Morial administration and was supposed to be a one-time event.
Yeah,
it has become an annual event and gotten bigger and bigger, and a lot of people feel like it's gotten better and kind of evolved with the times. And so we can debate about the old heads versus the youngsters and which music they could select and all of that kind of thing. But it has been an annual event that a lot of people have looked forward to, and that a lot of black folks elsewhere put their pennies aside to spend in New Orleans during that long weekend.
Yeah. And so this puts the city in a very tough position. It seems to me,
does.
Because if you have this event that is not going to deliver on their promises, and on top of that, they're going to make things tough on your local vendors, then you don't want to deal with it again. But at the same time, you don't want to give up the revenue. So this is, finding a solution to this one is much more of an art than a science. And so I just have to wonder what the conversations are right now going on with the folks at Essence about how they're going to make this right.
Well, it's going to be a problem because you already have state officials, Republican state officials, who have control over how much organizations, groups, and events and activities get. And Essence Fest has relied on state of Louisiana support. So just to give an indication and for context, it was just a couple of years ago that the city leaders and the New Orleans delegation convinced state leaders that this was an important enough event that the state should put in $3 million. So that was done. I mean, I'm talking about just 2-3 years ago, $3 million. Well, last year, it's like, we're not so sure. And so it went down to about $1.2 million. And the Essence Fest folks were like, well, that just doesn't seem reasonable. That's quite a big cut, and we're providing this and that, the economic benefit. And they said, well, this is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Well, now, if you're owing people this much money while you're negotiating to maintain what you had and to get more, puts you in a different kind of pickle.
Yeah, Representative Jack McFarland, who is the chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, in the article, he said, yeah, this is going to make it a little bit more difficult to secure state funding, this situation. So if you got the chair of the House Appropriations Committee coming out and saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be hard, that is not a good sign.
Yeah, right. Saying that publicly.
That is not a good sign.
No, that's not a good sign. And so let's see if we can get somebody from Essence to talk with us this week. And maybe we can get Blake Patterson in to talk with us about his reporting that revealed something that is disturbing. But he's a news guy, and that's the report. So maybe we can get him in and see what's going on with that. So when we come back after the break, we will, of course, bring you more news and information. And, of course, yes, there is an election going on. There's a campaign, and it's not too late to register to vote. But you've got to make that happen. Just a few days ago, we saw 8 sections of inactive voters come out in print in the Times-Picayune. 8 sections. That's a lot of thousands of people. All right, we're going to remind you about that and more, and then we're going to wrap up, make room for the front porch. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Now that we're in the second year of President Donald Trump's second term, our team of analysts at Bloomberg Intelligence is taking stock of how some of the administration's pushback against DEI is changing the business landscape. Bloomberg Intelligence senior ESG analyst Rob Dubov says since the Trump administration took office last year, we have seen a drop in boardroom diversity. But he explained some of it might not be because there are actually less people of color, but because companies stopped talking about it.
If these companies aren't disclosing the diversity of their directors, and some of them have said they're really not, there's actually really no way to tell, unfortunately. I mean, gender's a little easier because you can still use he, she pronouns. But in terms of racial diversity, it's really difficult if the company's not telling you.
But it's not all on the White House. Many companies curbed DEI programs to avoid pressure from conservative activists. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM. Or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
New Orleans, the city of festivals and second chances. This is Mr. Rocky of Faithers in Jesus the Christ, inviting everyone to come to the table of grace. No matter where you are or what you're dealing with, guilt, bad habits, mistakes, or heavy hearts, Jesus still calls us his friend, and his grace is waiting for us. Tune in to WBOK 1230 AM or watch live on Facebook or Instagram. We'll reflect on his work on the cross, his resurrection, his ascension, and the hope of his return for we who that believe and have received him by faith. So join us at the table of grace, where mercy is fresh, forgiveness is real, and grace is served for people like you and me.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, and I'm here with Eddie Francis.
Good morning.
All right, well, we're going to be getting out of here and making way for the front porch. They'll be coming up next, and want to remind you that we do have an election coming up in March. That's March 14th. Very important. In Senate District number 3, we have 2 candidates in a runoff. And if you're not registered to vote, you still have time to register to vote. You can get online and register to vote through February 21. Early voting is February 28th through March 7th. And you can weigh in on that race. And, of course, we have the District 100 race as well. So we're going to have a runoff for who's going to succeed now City Council member Jason Hughes. And so those are 2 important races, representatives for us in New Orleans, parts of New Orleans in the state capitol. Got a big, important session coming up. It's Lundi Gras, so I hope that you all are safe and sound out there. I want to say, give a shout out to my niece, my grandniece, Sarai. It's her 7th birthday week.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sarai. And her brother Jeremiah is in town with her. And so they've been having a fun Mardi Gras weekend. So I know they'll be out there for more today. So have a great time, kids. Enjoy your time here in New Orleans. We love you. All right, we're going to say so long, Lord willing. I'll be up again tomorrow, but won't be at the radio station. And Lord willing, I'll have another day on Wednesday morning, hump day.
Yeah.
And I'll be back. Will you be back, Wes?
Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday.
All right, we'll be back with the Good Morning Show. WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all